As all of you probably know, it is no easy task speaking in front of people or speaking in front of a camera. So our students who are part of these videos tonight, just so grateful because them sharing their stories is key for all of you to understand what this really means. I'm now really excited to talk a little bit more about Mary DeGraw. In just a minute, Mary, we are going to have a video play about you and your life at Lewis, and some of your friends and colleagues got together to put together this video. I want to say a few things, though, before we cue the video. Mary, in so many ways, you embody Lewis and all that it stands for, and I am so incredibly grateful for that. I think you probably all know this, but there are a lot of problems that happen on a campus that a president never hears about. Most of them get solved by other people who are incredibly good at their professional role. When a problem gets to my desk, I really can't solve it either. But I can tell you about it, when it gets to my desk, it has gone through multiple hands and multiple people who couldn't solve it. And that's why it keeps moving up the food chain, so to speak, and it ends up really in Julie's lap first, and then she gives it to me. And you know what I do right away, or I used to do? I would send it to Mary DeGraw. Literally, this is so true. For 8 years that I've been here, as soon as one of those problems came to my desk, the first and only person that I would call would be Mary DeGraw. Because what happens with these situations, as most of you know, is that, again, multiple people have tried to solve it, and more importantly, it takes somebody who knows everybody on campus, right? Because oftentimes what we need to do is we need to get a coach and 2 or 3 faculty and a financial aid counselor and a registrar and maybe even somebody from the police department all to get together and figure out how we're going to help this student to graduate. And Mary is awesome at that. It's because it's exactly what she does. She's built all those relationships over these decades. She knows all these people, and most importantly, all those people trust her, which is why I trust her and why the students trust her. It is really hard to create that in one person. So in some ways, we had to hire 11 to replace Mary. Now, I'm somewhat joking about that, but it's somewhat true too. We have some amazing people that will be taking over lots of roles for Mary, and I'm really grateful for all of them. But we did put an initiative into place for success coaches. Many of them are here tonight. Leadership from that group is here tonight. And that is only in part, but in part because it was going to be so hard to replace this amazing woman. So I'm going to let some other people talk about her, and then I'm going to invite her to the stage.
I first met Mary when she was a residence hall director and was in graduate school. And then Mary came back to Lewis in 1991 to be the Dean of Students. And that's when we became friends, and we've been friends ever since.
For almost 40 years of her life, she gave to this university. As a student, a grad student, in just about every position you could have at Lewis. And it was always about the students.
One of the things that I will always be grateful for and will remember the most is the best hire that I ever made. Taking you from Providence High School and bringing you back home to your alma mater in 1990 as the Dean of Students. It was the best decision I ever made, and the rest is history. As you embarked on a 33-year remarkable career, noted as the person most dedicated to student support and student success.
Mary knew sometimes following procedures or policies or rules was not what's going to make the difference with a student being successful. And I think that really came into play in all of the years recently that she was in charge of retention services.
So Mary has been insanely helpful to me, and for that I am grateful. She has been completely like one of the most helpful people here, I think, and that's huge. I really do appreciate all the help she's given me.
The Christian Brothers have taught us that the students, the young people, the young adults that we accompany on their educational journeys are students who are entrusted to our care. When faculty members or staff members bring a student who's struggling financially, who might need assistance academically, or who's challenged by things that are going on in their home lives, when they bring those students to Mary, we know that we're leaving that student in good hands, that Mary will take care of them, that she'll find resources to assist that student, that she'll remove barriers, and that most importantly, she'll communicate to those students that they matter, that they belong here, and that they're loved.
De La Salle was about being an example to students. And I can't think of anybody who exemplified Lasallian more than that. Mary was all about the students.
Well, I want to congratulate Mary on her retirement, and also a very special congratulations for her very well-deserved honor here at Signum Fidei.
I've known Mary since I was a student here, and she's known me even before I was a student at Lewis, and I've worked alongside her for 25 years. She's taught me so much and taught so many others at Lewis about creating a culture of care that demonstrates to our students that their success is incredibly important, their well-being is incredibly important, and communicates to them that this is their home. My hope is that that culture that Mary has helped to foster will continue, and that students will continue to benefit from Mary's expertise and all of her hard work for years to come. I think the Signum Fidei Award is a great way to honor Mary and to demonstrate to her how much we love her, how much we're excited that she's moving on to this next chapter in her life, and to thank her for what she's done for Lewis University.
Yes, awesome, Mary. So if you want to come up on stage, Mary, that would be great. Thank you again for everybody that put together, John Kilpatrick, we're all the people who spoke on it, and we're behind the scenes. So it is my pleasure to offer to Mary a sign of our appreciation, the Signum Fidei Award. You're very welcome. And I'd like to ask Mary to say a few words. I will.
I came a little bit prepared. A little. I wasn't sure if I could do this. I think there's been a lot said about me, but I thank everyone so much. And I just want you to know I am not one person. Everyone has helped me get where I am, especially with the Mission Fund, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. I have gone through my life over the last few weeks just trying to think of things and everything that I've been through, and I just said to Joe Felice, I think I'm probably a problem to manage because I've had so many supervisors over the years. I know they keep moving me around, but it's been great. I have made some great friends, relationships, and if it weren't for those relationships, I would not be able to do what I've been able to do, so I appreciate that. The faculty and staff here have been great to work with, and so I really am grateful for this, and thank you for the recognition. But enough about me. Let's talk about the Mission Fund. That's why we're here. And Colleen and Dave had asked me about this, and I immediately said I wasn't sure, I wasn't comfortable with it. And Dave pulled my heartstring and said, "You're doing it for the students, Mary." And I was like, okay, I can go for that. But the Mission Fund is very, very important to our students. We hear so many, many stories. This is has been a part of my life since it started. And I will tell you, I was a naysayer when Ray Kennelly and Rob Rose came to me and said, we're going to do this and we would like you to be in charge of it. And I said, this isn't going to work. I mean, the economy is not strong. We're not going to get the donors. It's kind of vague, and who's going to do anything? They're just going to give us money and trust us? And he goes, yes, they will. So, and it happened. And it's more and more every year, so we're so grateful for that. I do work with two individuals very, very closely that I do need to recognize because they have been a huge part of this. And that's Janine Decorante, who's our Director of Financial Aid. She's with us tonight. Her and her team identify a lot of those students. And then Pam McCulowitz from the business office and her team in the business office. Sometimes they don't always get the recognition because they're the ones that are holding up the rules. But when the three of us meet, or when we were meeting once a week, we would meet and talk about every single student and look for ways to help that student and who could help the student and what we could do. The Mission Fund is out there and we are able to provide support, but we make sure we work with the student and the families to do that. So it's an educational process as well. We get them over that hump, but it's not something that we can continue with because we have other students lining up that need help too. COVID was a bad time for us and our students and their families. We are starting to see the students starting to finish up their careers, their college careers, and graduate, but they are struggling financially, and that's where the Mission Fund comes in. It's those students that we want to push to graduation and then help them on the way. Their funds have run out. They're no longer even eligible for loans sometimes. So we just, as Dr. Livingston has said, we push them to that goal. We only have a few more classes, and we want to get them there. So please give. It's a great opportunity. I've been doing it for several years now, and retirement is nice, though, I will tell you that. Not as much stress. One other group that's really big in identifying students is our faculty. If it weren't for our faculty and their openness and their relationships with their students, so that the students feel comfortable sharing their stories and their struggles and their challenges, I don't know that I would always get those. I have faculty sometimes that call me from the classroom, and so I do know that they are really aware of their student situations and aware of how to help them, and they find the resources, and the faculty get those students to us. So I really want to thank you for all your help and support with that as well. I think I'm finished, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Take care.
Mary DeGraw, ladies and gentlemen.